Hello everyone, let me just put this under autofocus before we get started because I have got great news. I've been waiting since, I ordered in December, but I knew it wasn't going to come then because Christmas and New Year, you know, these things happen. I ordered something that was for my lovely little Commodore 64C, which I have here, and the parcel got lost. Let's put it that way. We'll put it that way. No, actually, I'm going to tell you the saga of the parcel. So, I ordered two things from The Future Was 8-Bit. Great store, does a great service for the retro gaming community, and helps with my project for the museum to keep these old machines alive, because we can archive all the software that was available for them, and still run it. So I ordered two things from there, a fast loader cartridge and what's called an SD to IEC, which is basically a replacement for the cassette drive and the disk drive that allows you to load software off an SD card. It means that it's essentially future-proofed. So I ordered those late last year using a bit of cash that I was given as a Christmas present. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to wait because I know he's not going to work over Christmas and New Year. I wouldn't. So on the 7th of January, I got a message saying that the order was being processed and it'd be sent out. And then I got another message from DHL saying that my package would arrive on the 12th of January. So I tracked it. And it didn't arrive because instead of being sent to the processing office in Manchester, it was sent to the processing office in Eindhoven, which, for those of you who aren't familiar, Eindhoven is not in the UK, it's in the Netherlands. Eindhoven then sat on it for several days, probably panicking, wondering, how do we get this back into the UK? And also, how did this get into the Netherlands? It's got no customs declaration forms. Because it didn't need them, it was internal UK. So it's just sat there. And then after a few days, they panicked and went, well, we've got to do something with it. Send it to Brussels. So they sent it across Europe from the Netherlands to Belgium to Brussels to have a look at it there. Brussels immediately went, we're not getting involved in this, and sent it straight back to Eindhoven. Eindhoven and Brussels then played hot potato for a week while they worked out what to do with it. Meanwhile, The Future Was 8-Bit and I are both getting on to DHL like, can you sort this out, please? You've got a package and it's not supposed to be in Europe, it's meant to be in the UK. Can you get it back to the UK? They wouldn't talk to me after a few days. They said, look, you just have to get Future Was 8-Bit to raise an inquiry. So he was already doing that, but I kept making jokes about DHL on the internet, and they were getting a bit annoyed with me. But, you know, these things happen. I'm a comedian. They caused a massive screw-up. I'm going to make a joke about it. That's just how the world works. Eventually, they managed to listen. They managed to get their act together long enough to listen to The Future Was 8-Bit, raise the inquiry, and last night the parcel went from Eindhoven back to Southampton and then across to Manchester. So the parcel actually arrived this morning. Now, this was sent on the 7th to arrive by midnight on the 12th. What's the date today? Oh my goodness, it's the 29th. So 17 days later than it was supposed to be, I finally got my package. And it is the Epix Fast Loader Reloaded cartridge, which is something that goes in the back of the Commodore 64 and it allows you to load programs quickly. Very useful cartridge, exceptionally useful. Even for tapes and discs, this thing loads quicker because there is, unfortunately, there's something in the Commodore 64 that is it's a holdover from the VIC-20. It was a bit of an issue in the VIC-20 and should have been fixed, but in order to keep the Commodore 64 compatible with the VIC-20 and be able to load software and be able to reuse the same disk drives and cassette drives to basically keep costs down and not have to have different formats going on, the Commodore 64 integrates the error from the VIC-20. So this bypasses it basically. And the SD to IEC card, which plugs in very nicely and just works. So I'm currently putting together an SD card for putting into that of all the software that it needs to load and a few demos and other pieces that you can get so we can play some games. 17 days late. Basically, I've been waiting over about a month, in fact, possibly even just over a month to get this thing. But it's here now, and you can bet I'm going to enjoy it. So future Game Hammer reviews will actually be able to show actual genuine format Commodore 64 original hardware games when we show the things. At the moment, we're using footage from emulators. And I've had a few comments in the past like, but your emulator didn't show any sound, so you've talked about it as if there's no sound. So, yeah, I tried on several emulators and there wasn't any sound. What can I do? Now I won't have that problem, because if there's no sound on the C64, it's because there was no sound on the game. So we can remove all of those issues and actually get genuine hardware footage. That'll be the best thing we can do, because that's really what I want from Game Hammer, genuine footage. So I'm so happy for today. Anyway, I've got to get set up because I've got a live stream today. I do live streams Wednesday through to Saturday from 4 PM, and it's great fun. Right, I better get back to that. This is so frustrating. And why does the Commodore 64 look like it's using Spectrum-style graphics with a few extra colours? Because this does look a bit specky to me. Guys, I've just finished the live stream. It's been 2.5 hours today, went a bit longer. We've got a bit of an issue. The SD to IEC card for the Commodore 64 works perfectly. The fast loader cartridge works perfectly, and I really do appreciate that little reset button that's on it, so I don't have to keep flicking the power on and off. Just press the button, tap, reset. It's great. Absolutely wonderful addition to that little cartridge. I am not kidding either. I bought it for the reset button. We have one problem though, and that's I can't get any sound out of the Commodore. All I'm getting at the moment is buzzing. Now, I thought I'd heard sound from it when we first got it and when we first tried it, but nothing now. So, my recommendation that I've got from talking to people is try a different try a different cable, because the cable I've got has 4 connections on it. 3 of them appear to be, well, 2 or 3 of them appear to be video, and I don't know whether that's supposed to be right or not. So I'll stick with what I've got for the moment. It's good enough for me to faff about and get some gameplay out of the Commodore. It's not good enough for Game Hammer, because I need to get the sound. And as I mentioned earlier on, sound is an important thing. I've had criticism of reviews because of the sound, because it wasn't there on the emulator and it should have been. So I'm going to have to look into where I can get a cable from. But for the moment, everything seems to work on the new SD card reader and things like that. So I'm really, really happy in that respect. So all I've got to do now is get back on with writing more of the notes for the scripts and trying to sort that out for the new Board Game Hammer show. So that's going to be the rest of my day. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. It's been a bit of a short one today, but I already talked about what I'm going to be doing with the scripting when I talked about it in yesterday's video. I don't want to really duplicate that. So, until tomorrow, see you later. Bye. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk-Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Tepic, Sam Yates, and Retro Mickey 82. Thank you so much, guys.